Good morning, everyone. Good morning from Los Angeles. Welcome to, I don't know why I'm so green today. Oh, maybe it's the green screen. Good morning. Welcome to Trading with Sergio, Wednesday edition. Seems like a little bit of a momentum coming out of the nosebleeds, but we'll talk about it. Go through my positions, what I'm doing. Welcome. It's Wednesday, Trading with Sergio, every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Fridays, Power Hour, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And on Mondays, Trading with Sergio Monday edition, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Today is, what's today? Today is Wednesday. So we also have members only live at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 a.m. p.m. Eastern. So stay tuned for that. I'll have a couple other announcements. What's going on? It's pretty active on the parabolics. Some of them are reversing. Some of them are still holding strong. But seems like a little bit of the gas or the juice is coming out of the parabolics. I've been doing this for a long, long time. Honestly, I can easily say I have not seen stocks move day to day the way they're moving. We all know the names. We all know the usual suspects. Everybody on Twitter is saying, or some people are saying, oh, fundamentals. What fundamentals? There is no fundamentals. They have left the building a long time ago. So when you have stocks going parabolic, and hopefully you all know what parabolic means. It means a rocket ship straight up, not even the SpaceX kind of thing, not on an angle, straight up. And it happens once in a while. Nobody knows when it's going to stop. Momentum is a very, very, very powerful thing. And there are some people on Twitter saying, oh, I'm shorting this, shorting that. I'm like, you're going to get your face ripped off if you do it. I did. I took my loss and got out. The name was Rigetti. And I mean, today it's down. I'm in the 2X ETF, inverse ETF. Probably make some money there, but it is really, really difficult to short these things. And shorting is out of style these days anyway, because market just keeps grinding higher. Although, market gapping up this morning 1%, over 1%, and now selling off a little bit. But yeah, these types of moves is something I have not seen for a while, for a long time. I was seeing these in the dot-com bubble when I was on the desk, and we would chuckle about it. We knew it would go bad at some point, but the greater fool's theory played out a lot longer. And I'm not saying, by the way, what's happening today with AI and certain names are definitely in the dot-com bubble category. But what's happening today, with the solid names, AIs, NVIDIAs, Palantirs or whatever, they're obviously not the dot-com situation, but there are some of them that are definitely reminding me of the dot-com days. So we would chuckle on the desk when the orders would come in and we're executing. Obviously, we're a profit center. We do what we need to do. But what would happen is that we thought it was overdone 8 months before the party ended. 8 months. The greater fool's theory was in full force. What is that? That's basically you buy something today, hoping another fool will buy from you at a higher price tomorrow. So I executed something. And the question in all this is a lot of people are guessing, when will this end? Momentum is a powerful thing. You can't fight momentum. You either go with it or you sit on the sidelines. I've been sitting on the sidelines mostly because I cannot make myself buy knowing, having the experience of what could happen. Now, is that going to stop me from getting to 300% a year? Yeah, but that's okay. I'm here for the long run, not for the short run YOLO trading and all that stuff. But so welcome. now that more of you are in the room. Good morning, members. Don't forget, we have the members live today, 4:30 p.m. Pacific. I would actually like David, if David is around, to show up for that, because shout out to Quantata. Thank you for the hat. I am going to start looking into trading a little bit more of the zero DTE world, but we'll see. We're just doing some studying now. I understand everything about it. It's just that I'm not comfortable with it yet. I'm not doing some back testing. We'll see. I'll talk to my members about it. So let's go with the schedule first. Get the business out of the way. Mondays, trading with Sergio, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. There you go. NBC flipped to 6,600. I guess David was right in the morning when he put 6,600 by mistake. What is NBC, by the way? Some of you may ask. It's called Most Valuable Contract. That's where, not max pain exactly, but pretty close. So that's where the zero DTEs are. That's where they're going to move the SPX. But we'll talk about that in a minute. So let's go with business. Mondays, trading with Sergio, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Wednesdays, trading with Sergio, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Fridays, power hour. Again, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And members only live, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And other things. Please go check the YouTube community page of the YouTube channel. I post my positions unlike anyone on Twitter or YouTube or whatever. Full positions, wins, losses, everything. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you can just check out the history, basically. Again, none of this is trading, financial, or investment advice. What I do is very risky. Trading is very risky in its own. Please do your own due diligence. If you're going to follow me, there is a lag between Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I swing trade. I don't day trade. So some positions I keep for a month, some positions I keep for a day. You need to be on your toes. But again, do your due diligence before you jump and join the bandwagon. The other thing is I have 2 new members for the members only. Please, if you're watching this, please email me, Sergio at sergioavadian.com. I will send you the Telegram chat group link where I post my trades live. Live meaning as soon as I execute them, I post it, so nobody accuses me of front running. And also at the end of the day, I post my positions on a daily basis on the Telegram chat group live. It's about 40 people at the moment. It's a pretty solid group. We just had a female join, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's going to be our first female trader. Welcome. Please email me, Sergio at sergioavadian.com, so I can send you the Telegram chat group link. So, boys, you know who you are. We need to behave now. Now we have a female. This is not the locker room anymore, okay? What else? Oh, one of the important things that I have done over the last 2 months, worked on it really hard. It came out amazing, actually, is my new website. I launched it about 10 days ago. It's www.sergioavadian.com. I'll post it here. Give me a minute. www.sergio. Can somebody post the link, actually? It's okay. Here it is. This is the link. What I would like to do is I would like everyone to go to the website and subscribe to the free newsletter, the first edition, inaugural edition of my newsletter, which will be on the blog as well, by the way. Sold something else. I'm hoping it's Rigetti. The free newsletter is free. I'm not selling you anything. I don't want your phone number. I don't have a Discord. I have a Telegram chat group. But on the website, I'm not selling anything. There'll be webinars. We're going to keep adding to the website. Basically, what I'm trying to say is the free newsletter is going to be going out every Monday at 12 Pacific. And It's going to be full of information about different things: macro, economy, interest rates, housing, obviously trading, obviously stocks, obviously the market, obviously the trends that I'm seeing. But then it will also have a lot of great educational material, such as what are stocks, what are bonds, how do you buy stocks, how do you sell stocks, how do you short stocks, what are options. Basically, the reason I did the website is because I believe financial education is completely lacking in this country, correct one anyway, starting at elementary school all the way to college. And I do have a different channel with over 225,000 subscribers. There is a crossover, obviously, but I didn't do the website for the gig worker. I did the website for everyone, and it came out really good. We keep, um, adjusting it. We will keep adding things to it. I would love to do seminars pretty soon, webinars, seminars, and educate folks. Okay, because trading is as difficult as it is, but investing works. And I put out a lot of content on the YouTube channel talking to you all about you being in charge of your own financial future. The government's not going to help you unless you have rich parents. You're born with a silver spoon. You're on your own. And God forbid you just tag along to a charlatan and then listen to them and then blow account after account. I don't want that. I don't want that to happen to anyone. But then look what happened last Friday, right? Bloodbath. And so, but then again, I really have no remorse for folks that go 30, 40, 50x on some shitcoin, not even Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana, but on some crypto that they go lever 40, 50x and then blow $1 million. I'm like, you deserve it, man. I mean, it's kind of rough, but that's what we used to do on the desk. I mean, it's the dog eat dog world. They're going to mess with you. And when you lever 30x, it doesn't take much for the underlying to move against you for you to go bankrupt. So, long story short, my whole point in the website is for you to just subscribe first, and then you'll get information. There will be 4, or every Monday, there'll be 1 free newsletter going out, and you'll learn quite a bit, right? And if my attitude about these things is I'm a patient person. So my attitude about these things is if you build it, they will come. I have built the other channel from nothing to where it is today, last short period of time. I'm going to do the same thing with financial education. I'm going to, yes, Robinhood has done a great job democratizing trading, but not everything's about trading, right? They want you to gamble. They want you to gamify, they've gamified the system. I want investing to be understood correctly in this country. I want the power of compounding correctly understood. I want the rule of 72 to be understood. These are simple things. We're not talking about, iron condors here, okay? We're talking about simple dollar cost averaging, passive investing, especially if you're younger, $10 a day, $5 a day, $100 a month, whatever you can do. It's going to do amazing, amazing things for you. And you may say, well, but Serge, market's so high. You could have said that for the last 150 years, right? Yes, there's be some dormant periods. Yes, there'll be some drawdowns like in April of 25%. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You drip, 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 drip. That's it. That's all you need to do. And watch the magical compounding and get addicted to that. Get addicted to saving and investing, because investing is the only way you're going to keep up with the Joneses. Okay. I don't want you to compare yourself to anyone, but the key in all of this is the top 5% is not a miracle, or it's not a coincidence that they own 80% of the assets in this country. And forget the government. The government's going to gaslight you to death, say, oh, everything is fine. Inflation is 2.5%. My ass is 2.5%. It's not 2.5%. It's like 6 or 7%. There's a global, in fact, there's a question from Kevin, which I'm going to enter in a minute. There is a global debasing of the US dollar. The only reason we're holding our stuff together today is why? Because the dollar is still the reserve currency of the world. God forbid, if that goes away, we're toast. We're completely toast. Just a much bigger version of Venezuela or Greece with a printing machine, though. And that's why all asset classes are doing what they're doing. That's why gold is at 4,000. That's why stock market's at an all-time high. That's why real estate's where it's at. That's why crypto is hanging out at close to all-time highs. My point in all of this is you need to save in hard assets and you need to invest. You need to invest over long periods of time. Long-term investing is going to beat short-term trading any day. Yeah, are there successful traders like myself? Of course there are. But then they're not dime a dozen. They're a handful. And I'm still around after 30 years. Show me another trader that's around after. I have a few friends on X that are, and we're all old-timers, right? Okay, well, I hope these YOLOvers made so much money that on the next drawdown they can keep their stuff together, right? My suggestion to all these people who post on X showing their accounts hitting $1 million, amazing, fantastic. You hit it. You have no recollection of what could happen. You'll have, because you just started this in 2020, sitting on your butt during the pandemic, probably on Robinhood. I congratulate all of you because you bought every dip and you were correct. But there's always the other side of the coin. Study history a little bit. I'm a history buff, so go study the market history. Again, I'm not the type, I'm always glass half full. I'm optimistic. This is the greatest economy on the planet, but then the pendulum swings a little too far one way or the other. And I feel like with some of these, AI boom stocks going on, especially the secondary and tertiary ones, which are involved in energy, providing energy to these AI data centers and things like that, they're just getting a little out of hand. Okay. So be careful out there because the market will bite you. This minute you go, you just kind of relax a little bit, the market will slap you in the head. So be careful with that. That's all I'm saying. But going back to the website, all of this is going to be in there. I want to inform, I want to educate, and I want you to be financially free from a W-2, free from being on a beach and investing and doing whatever you want to do, because this is the only, I'm not going to even call it a job. This is the only thing that you can do that will save you. Look at the wealth that the stock market has created, right? Look at the top 20 in the world. And then again, it's not comparable, but all their wealth is, yes, a little diversified, but 90% of it is in the stocks that they run, the companies that they run. Look at Elon Musk. 90%, maybe more. His wealth is tied up, or Amazon, or Jeff Bezos, or the old Bill Gateses and whatever not, or Oracle, Larry Ellison and his wise old age is 80, whatever he is. My thing is, you have to invest. There is no wrong time to invest. There is no right time to invest. The best time to invest is today. If you haven't started and you're saying, oh my God, this is so complicated. Yes, investing could be intimidating. Investing could be very complicated. You can make it as complicated as you want. But what I want you to do is I want you to just understand the basics first. Once you understand the basics, you will start enjoying it, because you'll say, oh my God, I don't have that much money. Well, to invest, I need $100,000. No, you don't. You need $5. Open a Robinhood account and start dripping it in there and DCA into some sort of an index. It'll be S&P 500 or triple Qs or whatever. My goal is all this is long-term. Things work. This is an amazing economy. Yes, there are weaknesses. Yes, we have a horrible fiscal policy. Yes, we have a horrible monetary policy. Yes, we have $38 trillion in debt in about 30 more days. All these are problems, right? But what's the alternative? What is the alternative? Put your head in the sand and hope your W-2 is going to go up by 6-7% every year so that you can keep pace with inflation? Because inflation is not 2.5%. It's not. Definitely not. So that's what I'm trying to do. So go please subscribe to this free newsletter on the website. All this is going to be in there. While you're at it, give me a thumbs up on this, or you can subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. I'm just trying to pay it forward. I have nothing to prove. I'm a great place in my life. I'm 57 years old. I don't have to do this, but then I'll be bored if I don't do anything. I do a lot, but to me, I think it's lacking. I want to make sure that when you're sitting at a dinner table with someone You know, yes, you can slip your TikTok up and down or whatever, waste your time and day. No, educate yourself, right? Save yourself, because you're the one that's going to save you, not your boss, not the government, not me. I will educate you, though. I will get you there slowly. And, you know, have some patience. It requires patience and it requires time. Last but not least, spending time in the market beats any day time spent on timing the market. Okay, I can do it. Few other people can do it. And am I always successful? No. Do I have losers? Absolutely. But to me, it's like, you know, start spreading your accounts. Have an investment account. Have a trading account. Have some fun. Nobody's saying not trade. Look at these stocks moving up and down 20-30% every week. You need to trade a little bit, obviously, but then start investing. Think long term. Anywho, all right. Good morning, everyone. I took care of the business. I'll mention the website again in a minute. SJ, Luis. Okay, you guys don't forget, we'll have the members only live. Oh, if you do want to become a member, please click join. Send me an email, sergio@sergioavating.com. I will send you the Telegram chat group link. Okay. What's up, Mojo? Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Kevin from X. Oh, I'm live on X, I guess. I don't want to touch gold after the run-up. I agree with you. I feel overbought. I agree. To move out fiat now. Yeah, it's definitely speculative panic. I mean, when stocks start trading like pork belly futures, you got to be really careful. Again, you have basically three choices, okay, when it comes to these crazy moves that we're experiencing in these stocks. One, trade, be long, be strong, close your eyes, and hopefully some other fool is going to buy from you at a higher price tomorrow. Two, sit on your hands. You don't have to trade every day. You don't have to. Don't be a junkie. Don't be an adrenaline junkie. And definitely don't revenge trade. Three, short. And get your face rearranged every other day by these stocks. So it's, to me, it seems like, for me personally, the most logical thing is to sit on my hands. I think until a reversal happens, then maybe I'll go short. Check out some breakouts. I mean, look, you know, my members mates, like I talked to them about BZAI the other day. That's the symbol, and they all bought it, or some of them at least bought it. I didn't buy it. I missed it actually by a day, and up 25% today. I'm like, great, thumbs up, bro, thumbs up, all of you get me for a Big Mac. You guys owe me so many Big Macs. Actually, I expect all the members to log in to whatever liquor. I'm in California, so whatever. What is that? What is it called? Yeah, there are some stores that just sell liquor, right? I want the best Japanese apple juice you guys can afford. I will give you guys my address for Christmas. Stock me up, okay? That's my gift, because I really think I'm doing a good job. I think I'm a good captain. I'm teaching them a lot. I can tell for sure from the lingo, from the posts they put up, from the positions they're putting on, they have learned a lot. For unequivocally, if I haven't done anything, I taught them that. And even with some of them, I have stopped them from selling cover calls. And you guys know who you are. I've stopped you. Some of you are still doing it. In fact, my rookie just did it, and then he sold cover calls. He went in front of the bulldozer. He goes, I'm going to pick up these pennies. And then he did it on a stock that went up 100% more after he sold his cover calls. I go, in a market like this, when things are moving 10, 20% a day, why would you sell cover calls? I just don't understand. Right? And then you cry. You go, oh, Like, yeah, because that was the one. That was the one trade of the year, right? We had one of those in NUGT and gold. We were in it and sold it too early. The whole index doubled from where I got in NUGT. Actually more, 120%. Amazing moves, right? So to me, you know, I'm going to be around. I'm going to do the best I can to inform and educate. The rest is up to you. You know, I don't know what else to say. So, okay. What's going on? So let's go check out what those pings were about. And so I'm putting on some put credit spreads, doing a little cash grab on the FTV. I like a lot of these, by the way. I like a lot of the. So I'm bullish on crypto. I DCA Bitcoin every Monday. I don't touch any other ones, but I am trading the proxies of Ethereum and Solana, specifically Ethereum. And well, both Solana. So I'm putting on some positions. I froze. Oh boy, what is happening? Did I freeze? Yeah, I did. That's not a good look either. What is going on? Okay. Okay. Oh, am I back? Yep, I'm back. I froze with my eyes open like this. Holy crap. Yeah, I did. Okay, am I back? Put a thumbs up if you guys see me as well. Oh God, come back in. I don't know, StreamYard is acting completely goofy today. Anyway, so what I was saying is I trade the proxies of Bitcoin in strategy, or 2x ETF of strategy. I trade BMNR, obviously, Tom Lee's company, SBET, SharpLink. I have DFDV for Solana. So, okay, thank you. That was a, I was looking at myself with my eyes bug out, like I froze like that. I go, holy shit, that's scary. Anyway, I trade the proxies. Now, I've talked about this a lot. In fact, I was on TJ the Wheel Deals thing, and sure was like, I mean, I'm not saying I was right, but I was right. And they're all like drawing these chopsticks and lines on these things, you know. Like, I go, first of all, these proxies are not going to move on their own. It's just not going to happen. You know, I see on X all these people drawing wedges and MACD, like I'm like, what are you people doing, man? They're not going to move on their own. They have an underlying. What's the underlying? ETH. If ETH doesn't move substantially higher, BMNR is not going anywhere. SBT is not going anywhere. It's just not going anywhere. What if ETH goes sideways for the next 6 months? How's BMNR going to go to 80? That they're all go, oh, it broke out. It's going to 80. I'm like, it's not. But what's going to happen is that you guys need to start live studying something called MNAV. I've been preaching this to my group for I don't know how long now. MNAV stands for multiple to net asset value, or market capitalization to net asset value, whatever you want to say. I like saying multiple to net asset value. So you figure out the market capitalization, you got yourself Ethereum live price, you multiply that time by the time how many tokens they're holding, and then you divide it, and that's it. You get MNAV. So MNAV was above 1 on all of these. On MicroStrategy or strategy, it was like 2.2 at some point when the stock was at 500. So here's the perfect example of how MNAV can crush you, okay? Because if MNAV gets crushed, you buy, let's say, when MNAV on strategy was 2.2, meaning, so the Bitcoin holdings of strategy, okay, that's a dollar value there. You have strategy also doing some convertibles and some debt, but the other ones that I'm doing, they're not touching debt, so which is good. And then they go immediately buy Bitcoin with it. Okay, cool. That's how they accumulate. This is what all the proxies do. So they're not a company with a product like NVIDIA that you can do a chart maybe on NVIDIA and say, well, earnings quarterly are growing sequentially by 50% year over year, whatever. You can do all the stuff you want. But on these proxies, like BMNR, SBAT, DFTV, MSTR, there is no earnings meaning like comparable to a regular company. Okay, all they're doing is doing ATM sales at the market stock sales and immediately buying Ethereum with it. Okay, fine. So now we have net asset value, which is their Ethereum holdings, and you have market capitalization. Well, on BMNR, we were up to 1.5. And now it looks like we're maybe down to 1.3. So it's at a premium to their Ethereum holdings, the market capitalizations. Well, I'm not going to touch it. But what I did is I did my studying. I found a whole bunch of these proxies. And I went with the two big ones. Second big ones on Ethereum is SBET, Sharplink Gaming. That thing dropped to 0.85 MNAV. So imagine what would happen to BMNR if MNAV dropped from 1.3, which was at 1.5, now down to 1.3, to 0.85. BMNR will go to 40 instead of 53. That's one. And the perfect example of that is MicroStrategy or Strategy, Michael Saylor's company, right? Okay. Last time, Bitcoin was at 110,000. Okay. Exact same price, the underlying. Okay. Strategy price was about $430 a share. Okay. All right. Today, Bitcoin price is 110,000. Whereas Strategy price, close to 300 or less than 300. Now, why? What happened? That 2.2 MNAV got crushed down to 1.3 now. See what I'm saying? So there is no reason for me to pay premium to buy these proxies. None. Zero. Now, somebody asked me on TJ's live stream the other day, should Tom Lee deserve, because Tom Lee's the GOAT, we all know, should BMNR deserve a premium over net asset value because Tom Lee's involved? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. Right? Because the management of SBET, one of them is the founder of Ethereum, co-founder. Why doesn't that have the premium? So what I'm doing is I'm finding all these and live tracking all the MNAV. Anytime they drop to 0.9 or lower, I'm on it. Just like on DFDV. It's called DeFi Development. They're the largest Solana asset, DAT, or digital asset treasury company. So I'm doing my trading there because I saw it dip down to about 0.91. Basically, when I do these at a discount, so if you do them at a premium, why not just go buy Ethereum itself? Why am I supposed to pay 30% premium because Tom Lee is involved or Michael Saylor is involved? It doesn't make sense to me. And Wall Street has made a killing on these things. Just like Jim Chanos. What did he do? And the Wall Street is still doing it. What they're doing is they're buying the underlying and shorting the equity. And they're hoping that MNAV is going to get crushed basically all the way down to 1. Well, that's what's happening. So why would I do that? Why would I go buy these things? What I want to do is I want to find the ones that are at a discount and buy it. Now, I'm not going to say that's almost like, let's say on SBET, Sharplink, MNAV is 0.91 last time I checked, okay? So that's a 9% cheaper, or the market capitalization is under their net asset value. That's 0.91. So when I go invest or buy or trade SBET, it almost looks like or feels like to me, maybe it's not, but buying Ethereum at a 9% discount. So I might as well buy those than go buy the other ones because everybody's on BMNR. Oh, Tom Lee. I'm like, again, Tom Lee, quote, nothing unlike Jim Cramer. Jimbo, I don't know what I did for you to block me on Twitter. I may have said we should have an ETF, inverse Jimbo ETF. You know, something like that. I mean, why would you block me on Twitter? I mean, it's reality. Whatever you say, the opposite happens, bro. Anyway, we'll move on from that. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just finding ones. Again, I'm long-term bullish, long-term on Ethereum, on Bitcoin, on Solana. Definitely. The other shit, I have no idea. I don't want to mess with it because is what happened on Friday, right? People just got blown away. I don't want to mess with that. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to find things that are at a discount. I like buying $1 for 91 cents. Who doesn't? But I don't want to buy $1 for $1.30. It's $1, for God's sakes. I'm not going to pay extra for it. So that's my thesis, and I'm going to stick with that. If anybody argues with that, please come on and explain this to me why. Actually, here's the link if anybody wants to come on. Did I freeze again? Come on, bro. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Oh, I'm back. Okay, here's the link. Oh, frozen again. I don't know what's going on today. It's not a good day to freeze, Serge. So I'm on a roll. I don't know what's going on. This StreamYard is acting goofy. So here's the link. If you guys want to come on and discuss this, I'll be happy to explain it to you further. So there we are. I'm trying to buy them at a discount. I put and would be being mindful of that, because I'm bullish long term. But like last Friday, could Bitcoin go from 120 to 105 like this? Could Ethereum go from 4,100 to 3,500 like this? Yeah. What's going to happen to BMNR? What's going to happen to SBAT? So when I'm putting these trades on, I'm putting them on with a defined risk downside trades. Because if Ethereum tanks to 2,500, where's SBT going to be? $10. Where's BMNR going to be? $25. I don't care who says what. Because the dog is the dog, okay? The dog is the asset, or is the coin, or is the crypto, is BTC, Ethereum, Solana. The tail is BMNR, SBAT, DFDV, MSTR. It ain't the other way around, okay? Unless we have something new going on, that the tail is wagging the dog as opposed to the dog wagging the tail. That's new to me. I'll adjust, but I don't see it that way. So that's what I'm doing. I'm putting defined risk downside trades. How am I doing it? I'm selling put credit spreads. As some of you may know, put credit spreads have defined risk. They're not risk-free. They're defined risk. I know going in what my max loss is going to be on these trades. And then with that money, I'm taking in money. With that money, I'm turning around and either buying the shares, a little bit of it, or I'm putting on call debit spreads. So basically, I'm taking their money and giving me all the upside potential. But I'm always mindful of what could happen to the downside. And that's why I put the defined risk trades on, as opposed to YOLO into BMNR. I'm like, no. YOLO into the leaps of BMNR or whatever else. No. Again, I'm bullish. I'm not bearish. I'm bullish long term. But a lot can happen between now and long term. You know, Tom Lee says, Ethereum, what do you say? Bitcoin 200,000 at the end of the year? Okay, cool. I have a whole bunch of it. Thumbs up, Tom. Or he was saying Ethereum at 8,000 and 20,000 next year. Fantastic. I'm positioned for it, Tom. Let's go. But then I'm also mindful of what if it doesn't happen, right? So limited downside risk, all the upside, I'm game. Anyway, so let's go see what's going on. Anybody wants to come on, please grab the link. All I'm asking you is you're in a quiet place with a good internet reception, unlike mine. Oh, come on. You know, maybe it's my, could it be my Chrome? I don't know, bro. I'm not a tech guy. All right, let's go see. Because we had a bunch of dings. Okay, what do we do? Oh, yeah, we sold some. No way. While I'm talking, cannabis stuff is absolutely flying. Holy crap. Jesus. Well, I had a credit spread. It's going to expire Watchlist on Friday. Okay, so it's good. All right, so let's go through the positions. I'm in January 2027 leaps on ASST. which is trying to buy Semler Scientific. It's a DAT meaning digital asset company, digital asset treasury company. And I bought 200 of the, it's Vivek Ramaswamy's company, by the way. This screwed me royally on that one. But long story short, I bought 200 of the ASST January 2.5 calls, 100 of the 5 calls. Stock is under $1, by the way. So, but then again, you know, I always watch my back. Yeah, it's a losing trade at the moment, obviously, but I had sold equal amounts of the January, again, 2027 10 calls at 35 cents. They're down to 15 cents. So I'm picking up some of the losses there, obviously. So this is called a call debit spread. And, you know, again, being bullish on Bitcoin, I like it. Actually, they're under MNAV at the moment, under 1 MNAV. So this is the trade that I'm putting on today. I put on 50 lots already. This is a quick cash grab. If not, I'll take the shares. This is DFDV, one of my favorite Solana DAT. They're doing everything right. And so I put on 50 so far this morning, and I'm going to, how many more I have? I have 20 more to go. I'll probably end up with 70 lots, 70 put credit spreads. So what am I doing? Stock is 1490. By the way, DFDV and SBET have live dashboards. You can check the MNAV live. Okay, so all you have to do is go DFDV MNAV, and Google is going to find it and send it to you or give it to you. So what am I doing here? I'm doing put credit spreads expiring on Friday. We got 2 days to go. I'm selling the 14.5 puts, buying the 13.5 puts, about 30-cent credit. Stock is 1490 at the moment. I will do a little, I have some more at 35, some more at 40. So worst comes to worst, if it's under 14.5, okay, so this is again defined risk trade, okay. 14.5, 13.5 is one. I'm taking in about 35-40 cents for each one of these. Very equity efficient trade, by the way, ridiculously equity efficient trade. So I'm taking in about $200 for each $800 I'm putting up for 2 days. If it's below 14.5 on Friday, well, if it's 10, I'm not going to lose more than $1. So that's my defined risk trade. In fact, I'm taking in 40-cent premium. The difference between the closer to the money short put is 14.5. That's the strike. Long put is 13.5. Most I can lose on this is 1, period. If you guys understand what put credit spreads are. Well, I'm taking in 40 cents. So the most I can lose is 60 cents. Okay. But if it's below 14.5, there's a chance I may get assigned. Well, I'm willing to take 7,000 shares of DFDV at 14.5 less the 40-cent premium, so it'll be 14.10. No problem. It's a quick cash grab. I'm trying to grab like a couple $1,000 to Friday. Because money, so I'm at 85% cash. I'm not participating in these parabolics, so might as well make some money on the money sitting in money market. MSOX expiring Friday. I had put this on about a couple of weeks ago at 80 cents credit. Again, put credit spreads. Stock is 9.5 now. They're obviously going to expire worthless. So when you do a put credit spread, you want both sides to expire worthless, so you collect all the premium. And we are at I put them on at 80 cents. They took in 3,200. Again, another amazingly equity efficient trade. They're going to expire worthless. It's 9.5. So I'm short the 7 puts expiring Friday, long the 5 puts. Fantastic trade. Okay, RGTZ is the one that I was selling. Ding, ding, ding. RGTZ is the 2x inverse ETF of RGTI, Rigetti. I was physically short the stock. I got a little face rearrangement, but I'm not crazy. I covered it. It seems like the stock did drop down to maybe 50.5. That's why the dings were. I was long 3,200, 3,500 shares with average cost of like 10.10 or 10.15. It got up to 10.50, but then this morning it was as low as 8.18. So when stocks come back to you like that and give you a little bit of a break, you need to take advantage of that, because I was wrong getting in. So that means I can You know, trade around these positions, folks. These are the RGTZ, by the way, is a 2x inverse ETF of RGTI. And these are not to be bought and held for long periods of time because there is massive amounts of slippage in these. You know, these are daily return tools. So like, for example, look at today's move. 818 low, 1056 high. That's pretty good. So, because RGTI is moving 5-8 points every day. My point in all of this is I will trade around this. So it looks like I either sold 1,100 shares or 800 shares. I don't know how many shares I have. But I'm still long 2,400 shares with a cost of 992. It's 990. We're at an even. Well, this morning you're down 5 grand. Now you're even. These are the types of trades that's going to help you a lot at the end of the year. Okay. I'm not going to get out. I mean, I think our GTI is going to go in a death spiral shortly, but then I don't know when the momentum is going to end. So what else am I doing? And last but not least, SharpLink Gaming. There you go, SBET. Talk the game, act the game. I'm going out to January, on this January 2026. I am short 15, 12 and a half put credit spreads, 35 lots. I will add to that. I'm putting those about $1.30 to $1.40 range. Again, my max loss is 2.5, but I'm taking in 140. So the loss on top of what I'm taking is only $1.10. With that money, I bought a couple thousand shares of SBET and 20 calls going out to January 15 calls. I will add to the calls. And at the same time, by the way, I was short January 25 calls. So I did exactly what I said I would do. Sell the put credit spread, take the money, buy some call debit spreads so you can participate on the upside. Okay, well, it didn't work out at the moment. It's not working out yet. So what am I doing? Well, I'm short the calls. Short calls on the call debit spread are melting. So you just buy them back. You don't have to hold them to the last day. I bought them back with, 45, 46% profit. So that means I'm lowering my cost basis now, right? And on the put side, uh, uh, I'm fine. I mean, if by January is SBET, again, I don't know where it's going to be. If by January SBET is under 15, I will get a sign. I will happily take a couple thousand or 3,500 extra shares, but that's by January. So, yeah. So what I'm going to do pretty soon, though, I'm going to start making these long 2,000 shares and the 20 options. That means I'm long 4,000 shares basically. Start selling some short-term puts, nickels and dimes, start lowering my cost basis because these are January's. Those are the 5 positions I have, folks. That's it. Hoping for our GTI to tank, and maybe it will, maybe it won't. Actually, it did get it almost got to 50.77 and bounced already 2 points. Okay. I think it's rolling over though. And the one I missed is SPX. David, one of my members, was right. I don't know where MBC is now, but that's a quite bit of a rally, actually. We're from 66.10 to 66.50. Yeah, okay. A lot of things are reversing today, though. So I need to be really cognizant of the fact that things like Oklo, look at these things, folks. Actually, I'll look at some charts in a minute. Oklo actually was up 20, high of 193, low of 164. 30-point range, folks. So let me tell you something. My experience, my mentor always said, number one, these wide ranges, 20, 30-point ranges, do not happen they either happen at bottoms or tops. They don't happen in the middle of a move. So I'm assuming with the key reversal day today, we're pretty close to a top on Oklo. Here's a company that's worth $30 billion market cap. Doesn't have $1 worth of revenue. So all the YOLOers are in it saying, yeah, AI is going to need, AI data centers are going to need power, and Oklo is going to be the one. Okay, let them build a nuclear reactor first. They just have the drawings, man. I mean, these stocks, people are paying prices for these stocks that are priced, forget perfection. They're priced 20 years out. I get it. I understand how this works, right? But you can't price these things this way. And then when shit hits the fan, you go, oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, like Oklo was I don't know, what was it, like a $10 number, or it almost got to 200 today in less than a year. Rigetti. Okay. What was Rigetti? Rigetti was a dollar or lower, actually, about 80 cents. It got to 58 today. I don't know, man. I'm not used to these types of things. Although, if you go with the technical stuff, look at the breakout, right? Amazing. But I think most of them today are kind of topping. Where's my voice going? And yeah, I mean, I did buy RGTZ, which is a 2x ETF, and we'll see. I will add to it, actually. I think it's rolling over. But I mean, I'm not looking for much. I'm looking for a pullback to 20 EMA. This thing is selling. Oklo is selling RGTI, QUBT, QBTS, ARQQ, IONQ, all these stocks, all these quantum computing stocks, all these power generation stocks like IREN. Is that still up today? Okay, that's kind of turning red. IREN, NBIS. I mean, look at these things. What are we pricing these things for? I have no idea. But perfection was like 50 points ago on all of these. What are we pricing them for now? To Mars? I don't know. Are they going to provide power in Mars? I'm not sure. Look, I'm making joke of it, but people are going to hold the bag in these badly. And I do understand stocks move first, earnings catch up later. Folks, these people, these companies, what earnings? They don't have revenue. Okay, revenue has to happen first before earnings. Top line, bottom line, right? Simple. Education 101, which I will explain on my newsletter. You have to have revenue first, okay? Then cost of goods, and then take your expenses out, all your employees, offices, and software and hardware, whatever you're using, and then you have net profit, okay? They don't have EBITDA. They don't even have revenue. So how am I supposed to fundamentally, well, maybe that's the part that I'm wrong. I shouldn't be looking at them fundamentally. They're just going up. How about that? That's it. That's the excuse. And, that was like, this is the one of my members has cover calls on. Look at this thing. He paid, I think, 13 for it. The thing is 40. And it was $3 in April, May. I mean, these moves have been amazing. So this is a once-in-a-lifetime bull market opportunity, and hope all you are making a killing. That's all I can say. What else is there to say? And I'll go through some charts. Let me answer some questions. Actually, I usually go through charts on Fridays, so I'll do that on Fridays. But if you do have, TJ the Wheel is here. What's up, TJ? Hold on, I'm putting you on. What's happening, sir?
What's going on, Sergio?
What's happening, my man? I don't know, man. I'm just wheeling and dealing and trading, man.
What are you complaining about over there? You don't like when stocks go up and they're like shit companies or what?
Yeah, well, I'm not familiar. I have a saying: when stocks start moving like pork belly futures, and because I have traded pork belly futures, by the way, in my past. They were wild, bro. They go limit up, limit down 3 times a day. I'd be like, why? How are we supposed to do any of this stuff? But
It's crazy.
I'm telling you, I have not seen stuff like this in 30 years.
It's my wife just got home.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude. Like some of these stocks are just like way ahead of their skis, and you just got to figure out if you're comfortable trading them.
TJ explained this to me. Okay. So I've been following all these stocks, obviously. Traded in some of them, traded along, short, whatever. Sure. My point is, so here's the deal. Here's my point. There's a couple of them that I want somebody to explain it to me. There's a company called Oklo. You heard of it, right? Oklo Power? Yes. Okay. Yeah. In fact, our energy secretary used to be the CEO of the company. Okay. Our current energy secretary. Okay. Yeah. So Oklo has a wonderful product. Okay. They're going to do these micro nuclear stations, micro ones, like little ones. Basically, each AI data center, they're going to build one so they can provide the power for these AI data centers, right? Okay. So they only have the drawings in so far. That's just the drawings, the regulatory stuff, building it, having it work, provide power. It's all going to happen later. Okay. How's that company worth $30 billion?
Yeah, it's worth market cap's about right at $25 billion right now.
That's with the pullback. This morning it was 30 billion because we're up 20 more points this morning.
That's crazy.
So how's that worth 30 billion or 25 billion? They just have a drawing, bro.
Yeah, I guess what I'm learning is the market's a forward-looking instrument. I just didn't think it was this forward-looking, right?
Yeah, how far? How forward? Like Mars and back? How much?
Yeah, I think that this is where a lot of people can make a lot of money, but on the other side of the coin, Sergio, in my opinion, this is where a lot of bag holders are going to be created for the next 3 to 5 years as well.
I agree.
There's going to be a ton of people that buy at the top, and this is the vicious game that Wall Street plays, right? They try to force you to sell at the bottom, and then they FOMO you into buying at the top, and that is like buying high and selling low is not a good recipe.
100% agree. And but I feel for these people. Look what happened on Friday, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in Bitcoin. I DCA Bitcoin. Every Monday I buy Bitcoin, physical Bitcoin, and take it out of the Coinbase account and put it in my hard wallet, right?
Right.
Cold wallet. So I'm going like, okay. So on Friday, supposedly there was $20 billion worth of liquidations happening on all these other shit coins. I don't even know what they are. They're probably 5,000 shit coins.
Yeah.
So people ask me, don't you feel bad for these people? I go, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I have zero remorse by saying I'm not happy about it because it's going to create less players now, less liquidity. Number one, if you get blown out, there's less liquidity. However, if you leverage 50x, some of them are leveraged 50x, and they went and bought fart coin with it. I'm not joking, bro. There's a coin, fart coin. And that thing went from 60 cents to 3 cents in a half an hour. And they all got liquidated. Am I supposed to feel bad for you? I'm like, no.
Yeah, I have a cousin who invested $100,000 into one called Pepe.
Yeah, Pepe, yeah.
There's another Pepe. Pepe was that's like the little Johnny for the jokes.
Yeah.
So for the Hispanic culture, Pepe is the little honorary kid that they use for the jokes.
Jesus Christ,
anyway, so he ended up losing like 80 grand on Pepe coin a couple
why
years ago.
Why don't we make our own coins?
It's just great. I mean, didn't Donald Trump do that right before he became president?
Yeah, he went from $2 to $75, I think.
Oh, God.
And then it's down to $5, I think, man.
What a time to be alive, Sergio.
What a time to be alive. And if you know what, if you have no memory of what could happen, right, you're just gonna kill it. Because look, I'm happy for all these people on X. You see these, did you see that account yesterday? It says I lost $1 million.
Yeah, I tweeted and I was like, can it possibly be a real account? I asked Robin.
No, I think there is wrong there because it said -4% for the year. How do you lose? They all Photoshop all these things. They don't for clicks.
Who knows? Yeah. Who
knows? Let's talk a little bit about
the reason I wanted to come on because I have a couple minutes before my next FaceTime. The reason I wanted to come on was I wanted you to educate me a little bit on MNAV.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a couple of minutes, if you could.
Oh man, I have all the time for you. You were gracious enough to let me on, so all the time you want.
Specifically for MicroStrategy and BM&R.
Okay.
Like if you could educate me on where the MNAV was versus where it is now, and is it just strictly driven by market sentiment or what all comes into play? Because it's obvious that these stocks are not commanding the premium that they were commanding during the peak of the euphoria, specifically MSTR.
Yes.
So educate me on that, and then I'll go back and I'll record this stream that way I have it.
So do me a favor. So on first of all, on BM&R, they don't have it. However, on all the other three that I'm trading, DFDV, SBET, and MSTR, literally, if you Google, I will explain how it works, but if you Google MSTR MNAV,
right,
it's going to give you something called a dashboard. Okay, this is live. The company's own dashboard is giving you the MNAV live. Do you see it now?
I see strategy metrics, charts, notes.
It'll be like MSTR dashboard. It'll say MSTR dashboard.
Yeah, okay, I see the price. I see all kinds of
shit. Google SBET MNAV. That's Sharplink Gaming. That's the second largest Ethereum proxy or treasury asset company.
The calculator or the tracker or the
no, it'll say dashboard. It'll say Sharplink. Okay, click on that. Click on that.
I see that. Okay.
Okay, so do you see all this info is live, by the way?
Yes.
So now you can track MNAV live. You don't. I did my own spreadsheets when I was doing this like 6 months ago, but now they all have a dashboard like this. So if you scroll down, you'll see where current MNAV is to the second.
0.92x.
0.92, right? Okay. Yes. So compare that to BMNR. Now BMNR doesn't have a dashboard. You know why? Because BMNR doesn't have a dashboard. The reason is they are selling so much at the market shares that the share count is changing literally every single day. Okay. But when I was on yours, on your live stream the other day, it was about 1.6. Now I'm
here he is. MicroStrategy is MNAV 1.42.
Right, 142, but that's not fully diluted because they also have 8 billion in convertible debt. So if you take that out, we're down to like 1.3, 1.28, something like that. Okay.
Gotcha.
So MNAV, look, MNAV is an animal that does not move by simply sentiment. Although I do agree with you, the sentiment does play when euphoria is hitting, right? And the expected volatility or expected range on Bitcoin increases, just like IV. Let's consider that some sort of an implied volatility, right?
Right.
Everything increases, right? So MNAV is going to get pumped up a little bit. So not only the underlying is going up, but MNAV is going up. So you get the double pump out of it. But the perfect example of strategy is when last time Bitcoin was at 110.
Right.
Strategy was like 450.
Correct.
It's still 110. We're down to 300.
Right, 290 something. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's MNAV getting crushed. The underlying is not moving. You know what I mean? Underlying the dog, I said this example.
Because it's my understanding, like the appeal initially with MicroStrategy was you can own a higher percentage of Bitcoin by owning a share of MicroStrategy versus buying Bitcoin directly. That was the pitch.
Yes.
And then Michael Saylor's like, and we're selling volatility. We're creating volatility.
Yes.
So we're the dream. We're the Wild Wet dream for option sellers, right?
I agree.
I'm saying like that was kind of the pitch. And we're gonna do these notes and we're gonna be able to borrow for fractions and it's like the money glitch, infinite money glitch, the modern day Ponzi scheme, right? Making the other dude's name? The other dude's name making him look like a rookie. What's the guy? When you think of Ponzi, you think of this guy. They've made movies.
The one died in jail. What's his name? Yeah, whatever.
When you Google Ponzi, like this guy had one. If y'all could help me out on the chat. Ponzi.
No, I exactly know what you mean. Yeah.
I'm not talking about Charles Ponzi. I'm talking about
no. The modern day Charles Ponzi, the one that screwed the $25 billion worth of stuff. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Hold on.
Jail time. There was a movie about him, dude.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Man, it's gonna drive me crazy, dude. Like everybody knows about this guy. Everybody knows about this guy. It was like talk about smoke and mirrors. But anyway, Bernie Madoff.
Bernie Madoff.
Thank you, man. Your chat's awesome. So anyway, so I felt like when I didn't really understand it, and truth be told, I still don't. This is a trade for me. I feel like I can make money because of the volatility, weigh out the money, all that stuff. But I was like, is Michael Saylor the modern day Bernie Madoff? Like that is literally what I was saying.
No. I disagree. I don't think this is a Ponzi.
That was the question I was asking myself, right?
I know you asked me that. You asked me that a year ago when I was on your channel, and you said one day you have to explain it to me. So I have explained it to you in the past. But no. I don't think this is a Ponzi. Now it would be a Ponzi, okay? Ponzi's definition, I think, from what I know, is you get new money in. And you pay your existing investors
to make the investors whole. So the existing investor, so new money has to come in, and if it stops coming in, then it's a house of cards, right?
Exactly. So, but new money coming in because BMNR and strategy are the only two that are still doing ATM sales because their MNAV is above 1.
Correct.
So they're using that premium to accumulate as much ETH and BTC as possible, right? The other ones that I'm involved in, under MNAV, under 1, are now, in fact, both of them are doing it. DFDV and SBET are starting buying shares back with their, right? So you can go both ways in this. If you're 1 above MNAV, you can keep accumulating in underlying. And if you're under 1 MNAV, so the shareholder is going to win either way, right? So I don't think these are Ponzi's. I really don't. And I'm long-term very bullish on crypto, okay?
Me too.
BTC, Ethereum, and Solana. In fact, I'm more bullish on Solana because Solana ETFs are about to get approved in the next couple of days. My point in all of this is I don't want to pay $1.30 for a dollar bill. I want to buy $1 for 91 cents.
Yeah, it's like, to me, I feel like it's the Rolex, right? Like the retail price on because I want this Panda, the Daytona Panda.
Yeah.
The retail on is like under 20 grand, but you got to go pay 50 or 60 if you want it like right now.
Exactly.
And
No,
like,
there is definitely a brand premium involved in there because Tom Lee's involved, right? But even in this short period of time, since we did your live to now, BMNR is down, but Ethereum did not go down. So MNAV is getting, and I'm telling you this, I have some friends at Goldman. A lot of the trading that they're doing when it comes to these things is a lot of hedge funds are buying the Ethereum and shorting BMNR. And a lot, and they've been doing it on MSTR for a year and a half now. They're making nothing but money. Because think about it. When BTC was
buying Ethereum and they're shorting, so that's a pair trade then?
Absolutely, yeah. Because they're looking for MNAV to go lower. If you had done that trade, okay, obviously hindsight's 2020, but Jim Chanos did it actually wonderfully. If you had done that on MSTR, Bitcoin is still 110. If you bought Bitcoin at 110 and shorted MSTR at 550, how much money did you make already?
A shitload, yeah.
Right? So it doesn't have to be either this way or this way or this way. So there are many ways to skin the cat. I don't think they're Ponzi. I'm very bullish. But the trades I'm putting on are making me sleep at night, okay?
Right.
Because I'm like, okay, I can lose is this much. And I have all the upside possible. Because, again, I don't know. Like, what if ETH drops to 2,500 before it goes to 10,000?
Oh, yeah, BMNR is going $20.
Yeah. So I'm going like, it could happen. I'm not saying it's going to, but I'm always mindful of what's my downside here, right? So, but that's MNAV for you, bro. I'm telling you, I like the ones at a discount. It may not be as exciting as BMNR, but they're fine. So now BMNR gets to 1.
Like as far as like accumulating the actual asset, BMNR is accumulating Ethereum at a faster clip than anyone, right?
Yes, correct. I'm not. One question I have is like, if you go into the SBAT dashboard, right? I'm not trying to sell you SBAT. I'm just in it. But I go to SBAT dashboard and go like scroll down. It will show you
SharpLink, right? We're talking about
SharpLink. Yeah. Okay. And the SharpLink dashboard, the MNAV dashboard.
Yes.
Scroll down, it will show their staking Ethereum gains. Okay, it says staking.
5,211 rewards
in less than 2 months, 2.5 months. So they have staked it fully, and they're getting at this pace. Even they have about 850,000 ETH. Even at this pace, they're going to get 20,000 extra ETH a year just by staking it. Well, at current prices, that's 80 million. They can go buy back 5 million more shares, 6 million more shares, right? So there is this game without ETH moving anywhere, right?
Right.
There is an advantage of buying these things at a discount. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It may not be as exciting, but I can assure you one thing. If ETH goes to 8,000, BMNR will get to 100 or 80, and SBAT will get to 25. So while I'm waiting, I'm just kind of go, okay, I'm just going to participate, but I'll participate kind of this way. So I don't understand. So MNAV is practically that, bro. Don't trade BMNR, trade ETH. You look at the price of ETH. Remember when I was there, look, I'm not against any of these folks.
Right.
But so like Uzi did a wonderful job explaining the chart, right?
Yeah.
It's going to break out. And then I asked him, like, what are the like probabilities that this breaks down? Literally, 2 days later, it broke down. You know what I mean? I'm going like, I don't want this on anyone. But all I'm saying is, you can't draw charts on these things. You can draw charts on ETH, but not on BMNR, SBET. So we're down to 1 point. I think, I'm guessing, because they don't have a dashboard, we're down to maybe 125, 13 on BMNR.
Right. Agreed.
I don't think it's going to go under 1. Although, breaking news, when it was $40 and ETH was 43, it was under 1. And then it moved from under 1 all the way to 1.6. So now I'll wait maybe at 1.1, 1.15, 1.2. I'll start getting into BMNR myself.
So I guess it's like one concept, and the reason that I'm like late to this party is because I had other stocks that I just understand them a lot more, so it's easier to make money. Because my whole riddle that I always try to solve, and this could help your viewers as well, is how can you make the most amount of money while still being comfortable enough to sleep at night, right? That's kind of the balance, the seesaw that I'm on as somebody who has, $20 million in the market collectively. And I was able to achieve that in other stocks, but it was because there was a fundamental question that I kept asking myself with the BMNRs and the MicroStrategies of the world. Mm-hmm. And I'm extremely bullish on SBET because of a gentleman named Michael Alfred. Mm-hmm. He's a big pumper on X. And he
not just that, but the SBET CEO is one of the co-founders of Ethereum, actually.
Yeah.
So
and he's on the board of Iron. Iron is one of these Bitcoin miners that pivoted quickly and it's gone fucking to the moon, right? It's just, and I get pricing in the future and all that, but I'm like, there is such a thing as paying too much for a good thing, right? In my opinion. Yep. So, but Michael Alfred sold a lot of his BMNR at $51, and he took a lot of shit for it.
Yeah.
And he says, I'm going to go longer on SBET. And then he did like a whole soliloquy, and it was one of those too long didn't reads. But I've gone back and like glanced at it and used Grok to kind of like simplify it. And holy shit, man, it started making a lot of sense. Like this guy knows the game. Like this guy, Mike Alfred, he's worth a couple $100 million. He had a company. He sold it for a shitload of money. He's a good follow on Twitter if you guys aren't following.
I'll follow him. Yeah. But my goal in all of this is you have to be, if you're going to invest in any of these, I'm not talking there are tertiary one. There is one in Japan, actually. It's the MSTR of Japan. It's called Meta Planet.
Right.
That thing just hit under 3 today. Now, time
it had gone to the moon right initially, and then it's
$20. Now it's 3. First time since, actually, I think it went under 1 MNAV yesterday. MTPLF is the symbol, right? So now I'm watching that one because I'm going like, okay. Now the only problem with that is you have to also pay attention to currency risk between dollar yen exchange rates, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going like $3 under 1 MNAV. I think it's worth a little bit of my money. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start buying some of that. Because
but I wasn't able to buy that one on Tasty Trade because Jesse Dow was promoting MetaPlanet.
Yeah.
And I follow Jesse Dow. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
No.
He's pretty good too. He's real good at technicals, but he's just, I don't know. He has like really good timing, like at certain things because he's a macro. He calls himself a macroeconomist wannabe. Mm-hmm. So he like looks at big picture stuff and you start formulating your bet. Right? He goes, I think his channel's called From Micro to Macro.
Okay.
But he's really more macro to micro if you really study his mindset.
Okay.
And that's the way that I am. I study a sector, and then I'm like I zero in on a company that I feel like can dominate that sector, can do pretty well. And it doesn't have to be the best horse. It has to be the horse that I'm comfortable with, right? Because it's like win, place, or show. They all make money.
Absolutely. Because look, the other thing is that when you're with regular companies now, right, like NVIDIAs and Palantirs and whatever, sulfides, look, they have earnings every quarter. Yes. They move on earnings. I don't understand how they move. But when people start analyzing these companies, I'm like, there is no analysis, bro. You just got to follow Bitcoin, or you got to follow Ethereum, or you got to follow Solana price. It's simple. Actually, it's pretty simple, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
If you're not bullish, though, long term on any of these, and then don't touch them.
Yeah.
But if you're bullish
my
long
question,
term,
my question was, and I gotta go because I got 3 more FaceTimes to get to, is Michael Saylor, Tom Lee raise money to go buy the underlying asset, right? Bitcoin and Ethereum, respectively. Michael Saylor has said they're never selling Bitcoin. I've never heard Tom Lee say that they wouldn't sell Ethereum. First of all, I've never heard that. I've heard Michael Saylor. I've heard Michael Saylor. There's a big distinction here is what I'm trying to get to.
Okay.
So my question has always been, if they dilute, they're taking on loans to dilute, right? Like they're borrowing money to buy the Bitcoin, because you can't buy the Bitcoin.
Strategy is some of it. They're doing that. Yeah.
Right. So I'm saying you got to borrow money to buy the Bitcoin because you don't have earnings as a company, aside from little software stuff that's minuscule.
Yes.
It's like saying Tesla's a solar company. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. It may be one day, but not right now. So what I'm saying is, if they're never going to sell Bitcoin, how do they make money if Bitcoin doesn't go to the moon? And then if it does go to the moon, what does it really matter if they're not going to sell it? I guess my whole thing is the reason I like selling puts and calls is because you're forced to ring the cash register, right?
Right.
So I'm like, how do they ring the cash register? And that's where my mind attached a Ponzi-esque to it, if you will, right?
Well, no, but okay. So
there was a disconnect in my brain, and that's why I'm so late to the party.
That's a logical question, and you're basically asking, what's the end game? Right?
Yeah,
I mean, like, well, what's the end game on NVIDIA? What's the end game on Palantir? They're not going to shut the company down. They're just, Bitcoin goes higher. The earnings, you have to understand, because they have the Bitcoin, right? The earnings, actually, MicroStrategy has earnings, meaning the Bitcoin that they're holding and the price that they bought to the price it is now, they have unrealized gains. That's going to be their earnings. You have to look at it that way. As opposed to manufacturing a chip like NVIDIA, they have their chip is the Bitcoin. Now, the question in MicroStrategy that a lot of people ask me, which you should start thinking about this, is that he put out 2 slices of convertible bonds, convertible at a very, very high price. And Wall Street gave him on one of them is 0.5% interest. On the other one is 0% interest.
Correct.
You took all that money. It's about $9 billion in total. Okay. Now, Tom Lee is not doing that yet. And SBAT is not doing that yet. The FTV, none of them are doing convertibles because, look, convertibles are bonds and they are above the common shareholder totem pole, okay? These things have maturity dates of 5-6 years.
Right.
Time comes, well, you got to pay these people back.
That's what I'm saying. But they're going to dilute and pay them in shares? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why all the folks were playing the MNAV game, right? At 2.2, I'll short that and buy Bitcoin, right?
Gotcha.
And now you got to be mindful. Tom Lee did not say that he's not going to do converts, right? So once they start, I don't like that, okay? I don't like debt to buy Bitcoin. It's just like those folks that bought shit coins with 50x debt, you know, you got to pay the piper at some point. My point is on all this is, when time comes to pay, there's 2 ways. Well, he said he's never going to sell Bitcoin.
Right.
If that's the case, let's forget that one. He's not going to sell Bitcoin to pay the debt holders, right? 2 ways. Dilute the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Pay him that way. Or two, kick the can down the road, because look,
like a covered call.
DJ, there is so much money around the globe. He'll find $5, $6, $8 billion to pay him. Now this time it'll be another 6-year convertible price will be lower, the strike price, but then maybe the interest rate will be a little bit higher, right? So I don't see a huge problem with that yet, not yet. But I like BMNR, I like SBAT, I like the ones that are just doing ATM sales, diluting for sure, but not that involved, okay? I just stay with 3-4 horses. I don't need to be in 20.
And how much do these guys get paid though? Because I mean, if they're not selling Bitcoin, like again, or do they skim some off the top whenever they get these bonds? Like, how does Michael Saylor get paid then? Where does Tom Lee getting his money? Like, they gotta.
Well, they have a salary just like any other company. They have a salary. They have bonuses. They have stock options just like any other company. How does How does NVIDIA CEO get paid? How does Palantir CEO get paid? Yeah, I mean, no, they all look. They have expenses, by the way. It's not less of expenses, but you know what? BMNR has 20 people working for them. That's it.
I was going to say, like, how many people do they fucking need to do this? Just to place the orders for the Ethereum or what?
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, you got to keep doing accounting, this and that. But look, these are not like NVIDIA has 100,000 employees, probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, these are pretty low cost running operations. You don't need much. I mean, you're not, you don't have R&D, you don't have, you're just buying the shit, like you don't have it. So I'm telling you, I think long term, you're fine. Everybody's fine if in these things. In the meantime, though, once you understand this MNAV game, you'll just be sharper. Your buy points are going to be sharper. You know what I mean? Because I know you want to accumulate a position. Okay, your buy points will be sharper. Because then don't be disappointed when Ethereum in 3 months is still here at 4,100 or to 4,000, but BMNR is at 48. Because MNAV now is at 1-to-1. Right?
Yeah.
So I want to start below 1-to-1. If there is a run,
you benefit.
I not only the stock price is going to move that way, but also maybe in that euphoria, that 0.91 can go to 1.3 or something. I get the double whammy that way. I don't want to get the double whammy this way. I want to get a double whammy that way.
No, I get it, man. I get it.
So well, that's cool, my game
man. I gotta handle my FaceTime responsibilities. But anyway, I appreciate you as always, my man. We'll talk soon.
All right. Take care. Be well.
Yeah, take care, guys.
That was a nice surprise. All right, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Well, we couldn't have explained it anymore. So today I'm not doing no, I'm kidding. I'm not doing, I was gonna say I'm not gonna do the members live. Okay, this is what kind of good captain I am. When the market crashed on Friday, not crashed, but tanked 2%, 2.5%, I did a members live on a Sunday for my members. So we can be on the ball, but then they gapped up the market on Monday. So none of the buy points, although BZAI was one of them, and then they all bought it and made some money with it. So that's how much I care about my members. But anyway, so let's shut this down. I need a cup of coffee. Mondays, trading with Sergio, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Fridays, power hour, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Wednesdays, today, trading with Sergio. And at 4:30 p.m. today, members only live, where it's a lot more one-on-one interaction. They can ask me whatever the heck they want. And education continues. Please, if you like the live stream, put a thumbs up. My manager says it helps the algo. I'm like, whatever. Please go to my website. 10 days ago, I launched a website called, www. It's up there somewhere. www.sergioavadian.com. There's a free newsletter. All I'm asking is your email. No name, not selling you anything, not doing any of that. I just want to educate you and inform you. There's going to be something for everyone, from macro to micro to trading to stocks to markets to interest rates to general economy, obviously. And a lot of top of the funnel stuff, which people don't even understand, like what does DCA mean? What does Rule of 72? How does compounding work? All that good stuff. So go subscribe. It's free, no charge. I just need your email. Just put it in, click. There's a blue subscribe button. Click and subscribe. Every Monday at noon Pacific, you're going to get a newsletter. It's a quick read. It's not going to be this, like, I don't want to take too much time. Maybe a couple of minute read, 500-600 words. But education starts, and if you do like it, please refer it to other folks. What else? Members are members. My members are awesome. I have 2 new members. Please email me, Sergio@sergioavadian.com, so I can send you the Telegram chat group link. Without that, I don't know who you are. And thank you for subscribing and supporting, but I cannot reach you. Anyway, so that was a nice surprise with TJ. I think he's getting it now. And I want to enter this. Yes. 100%. I have 8 years to go. I don't think it's going to be there. I paid shit ton of money that I want my money. I don't think it's going to. I don't think anybody who's in their 30s and they're never going to get their money back. You all are paying for the old folks now, but that definitely is a Ponzi. But that comes from Washington. By the way, you guys noticed the country is still running? We haven't had a government for like 2 weeks now, or 10 days. You guys missing anything? These jokers in Washington, bro. We don't need these people, honestly. Is anything missing from anybody's life? Are the lights are still working? I don't know. I'm not missing these people. I'm not missing any of these people. The ones in Washington. The ones that take 5 trillion in and spend 7.5 trillion. I'm not missing any of those people. So, maybe government should be shut down for a little bit longer. Obviously, market doesn't care, right? Who cares? Anyway, so my hat's off to you all. Thank you for joining. See you guys on Friday. See the members at 4:30 p.m. Pacific today. I went through the positions. I only have 4, 5, 6, whatever. But I have a plan. 3 Ps. Don't forget about the 3 Ps. Patience, position size, and planning. If you do all 3, you'll be good. Especially position size. So with that said, I'm going to go have a cup of coffee, finish the day off, get ready for the members live. Let's see what they want to talk about today. And see you guys on Friday at Power Hour. Stay healthy. Be well.